Everyone, awesome job everyone so far. Happy to close it out. My name is Greg Goodfried. I have a company called EQAL. We're a social entertainment company. Our roots are in producing video content. We did something called Lonely Girl 15 a few years ago. We did another show called KateModern. I've worked with CBS, did a TV show called Harper's Globe. We did the web series. And so we've been in this space for a long time, made a lot of great content and engaging audience. And so happy to be here to talk about our idea for Miller Lite. So I'm just going to run right into it. So what we have for you is concept is a love story told on the internet. We want to have something that has heart, that has character, that has emotion, and then also, uses Miller Lite in a fun way. So let me just take you right into the idea. First slide. So meet Charlie. So Charlie's your typical 22-year-old American guy. He's, certainly not the coolest guy in school, not so great with the ladies, but he tries. He gives it his effort. So Charlie and his friends, they go on a college trip to Paris, and they're in Paris, France. They go and Charlie went, I think, to a nightclub. So they're in this nightclub. Charlie's doing his typical thing, kind of hanging out on the side, he's a little nervous to talk to the girls. But he looks across the room and he sees this group of girls. Next slide. One girl sticks out. She is the most beautiful girl he has ever seen. But it's Charlie. He really doesn't know how to talk to her. So he goes, hangs out of the night, kind of meanders around. All of a sudden he decides, I want to get a drink. Walks over to the bar, goes up to the bar, he's about to order his drink, and all of a sudden he accidentally bumps shoulders with someone. And at the same time we hear Charlie in a female voice say, "Miller Lite, please." And Charlie's like, "Oh, sweet, she likes Miller Lite, I like Miller Lite, this is my in." Next slide. Charlie says, "Can I buy you a beer?" She says, "Yes, of course." And she kind of giggles and says, "Oh, you have such a cute American accent. My name is Sophie." And Charlie's like, "Nice, Sophie, I'm in." So he goes, kind of, asks her to dance. They go to hang out, they dance a little bit, share some intimate moments on the side, and then at the end of the night, they kiss. And Charlie's dream has come true, he's got the girl. But all of a sudden, Sophie's friends come running up to her and they're like, Sophie, we have to leave. Charlie's like, "Oh my God, you can't leave. When can I see you again?" Sophie's kind of slick, takes Charlie's hand. A waitress walks by, grabs a pen from the waitress, writes something on Charlie's hand, closes it, kisses his hand, and says, "Tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. So Charlie's like, "Okay, awesome." Clenches his fist, goes over to his friends, and it's like high five. He's like, "Don't touch the hand, don't touch the hand." And he's like, "This is my thing." So has a couple more Miller Lites, goes back to his hostel, goes to bed, wakes up the next morning, and it's like, "This is it. Tonight I get to see Sophie at 8 o'clock. My moment of truth." Opens up his hand, looks at his hand, next slide, and it says, "Chat roulette." And he says, "Chat roulette? What the hell am I supposed to do with chat roulette?" If you don't know, chat roulette's a super popular website right now where people kind of webcam against each other. It's bizarre, but it's very cool, right in the cultural zeitgeist. So Charlie says, "Okay, I'm a hopeless romantic. I'm going to find Sophie tonight at 8 o'clock. I'm going on chat roulette." Goes and he gets his hostel ready, kicks out his friends, sets up his computer station, looks all great. We see Sophie at 7 o'clock at night. She's getting dressed, she's looking beautiful, putting some makeup on. She's really anticipating, excited to see Charlie. We come back to Charlie now, and Charlie's now in front of his webcam. Next slide. He's sitting there on chat roulette. So first person comes up, random crazy person. Charlie's like, "Next, next, next." Now we see Sophie. We're real tight on Sophie's face. She's excited. She's really looking forward to seeing Charlie. We come back to Charlie. He's some Korean guy trying to tell him what the new cool hip hop is. Charlie's like, "I want to find Sophie. Where's Sophie?" Next. We see some funky stuff on chat roulette. Charlie's like, "Next, next, next." We come back to Sophie. We're a little further away, and she's kind of nervous. "Where's Charlie? I can't really find Charlie. I'm disappointed." And we come back to Charlie. Charlie's super dejected, just like, "Next, next, next. Where's Sophie? I want to find Sophie." We come back to Sophie. Camera pulls out a little further, and we realize, she's not really in her apartment. We're a little further out even. She's not even in front of a computer. Camera pulls out even further, and we can tell she's kind of in a cafe. Next slide. And we turn up, and she's in a French restaurant called Chateau Roulette. So all we hear is Sophie say, "Miller Lite, please." Come back to Charlie. His head's on his hand. He's just going, "Next, next, next." And then on the screen at the end of our first video, we pop up. We tell people, go to chat roulette. Next slide. So say, go to chat roulette and be the first person to find Charlie. Tell him that Sophia's at Chateau Roulette, and you'll win 2 all-expense-paid trip to Paris.
Great. So engrossed in the story.
Hey.
So how does this story get communicated out, and how do you get people involved? Because
so a number of things. So number one, this is like hitting the cultural zeitgeist right now. So 3 years ago, South by Southwest was all about Twitter, and we saw it was nothing, and then it rose to the ranks. So to attach your brand to what we really think is kind of one of the next big movers out there of chat roulette, I think puts you guys in a very cool place to say we're relevant, we understand our audience, we're hip. And then from a story standpoint, this is really just the pilot. We really want to create a character named Charlie who, we've watched a bunch of your commercials. You really have that fantastic kind of lovable loser type guy who never really knows the right thing to say to the girl, but he always loves his Miller Lite. Charlie's your guy. He's going to speak that voice to an internet culture. Sophie's going to be a great character. It's going to involve, social gaming. People really participate. Find Charlie. You can have applications, all sorts of things to really create a buzz around this Charlie-Sophie love story.
Okay. And how does it resolve itself?
So yeah, I mean, there's a story arc. So, we're gonna have these great characters on chat roulette that you're gonna see in these videos that Charlie's gonna come across, every once in a while that might give him a little tip, and then obviously at the end of the day, it's a love story. So I'm sure Charlie will get the girl, but that will have to play itself out. Cool.
Do you think there's an opportunity to turn this into a retail promotion as well?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think, again, establishing characters, what you guys do so well as a brand is you establish these really fantastic characters that people see, they relate to, and so I think that, we can have cutouts of Charlie, holding a beer bottle. We can have, funny little webcam things where you can, maybe you go into a retail store and you set up a little laptop station and people can go and actually interact with Charlie, direct through webcam and stuff.
Okay, last 15 seconds, Greg.
So last 15 seconds, what we want to do is something that tells a great story, has fantastic characters, hits the emotional zeitgeist of what people are talking about right now, to put Miller Lite in a place where you look cool and hip and relevant and talk directly to your core audience.
Great stuff. That's all of it. Come back on stage. I realize why I've been going wrong with dating now. I thought 45 seconds, like Agent Douche, we didn't think it would be long enough to talk about yourself, but no one needed the 45 seconds. Everyone back on stage, because now comes the critical moment where Grant here is going to decide, out of his 6 speed dates, which one is going to get the primary funding to be produced in conjunction with Digitas, 24 grand plus additional production support from Digitas in the third act. So if you want to, do you need a little bit longer to think over those intimate experiences?